Startling numbers when it comes to attacks against women, what defense rules you need to know, and some moves that just might save your life.
How high is your cholesterol? Don't know? Don't worry. Ways you can determine your numbers and what steps you can take to get it lower.
Showcasing the life of Native Americans. We'll take you inside a museum doing just that, plus why it's so important to the state of Delaware.
And we're in the kitchen with High Spot chef Patrick Fanning, and today we're whooping up a Delmarva recipe favorite, crab cakes.
Delmarva Life starts right now. And good afternoon, everyone. I'm Lisa Bryant.
I'm Jimmy Hopple. Welcome to Delmarva Life from historic Studio D.
And we'd like to welcome our studio audience today. Give a round of applause. So happy to have you in here.
They're here for the crab cakes.
They're here for the crab cakes?
They're here for the crab cakes. We'll try to save you part of one.
Yeah, part of one. Maybe the bun.
Maybe the bun.
Hey, a lot of people are talking about power outages. I know.
You asked me about that.
Yeah.
I haven't had any power outages.
You have not had any power outages?
Not a one, with all the storms that we've had.
Oh, we have had, and it's not just the storms apparently. Residents throughout Delmarva have experienced intermittent, whatever, power outages as utility companies are trying to battle a lot of different things like the high temperatures and the storms and, you know, lightning and everything.
Right.
In the Daily Times this morning, they were saying that a lot of people are wondering if they're doing like rolling blackouts or anything like that. No, they're not. It's just there's just been so many variables into what's causing these power outages. I know we had one last night. I'm trying to cook dinner and the power went out for just long enough to mess up the clocks.
I
you know,
hate
don't
that.
You hate that?
Yeah.
And then you set the clock and then the next day it goes out or whatever. If you decide not to set the clock, then it will stay on.
Help me out with this, because Annie, our producer, doesn't live all that far from you, and she said that she had one of those quick
Right.
And it was during dinner.
Yeah.
So is it something y'all are?
It's something we're cooking.
I don't know. I'm just asking.
I don't know.
Question.
She texted me and said, "Is your power out?" And then just as I got her text and was ready to send one back, it came back on. I said, "Not now."
So it's not gone for long.
But anyway, some of the power companies are saying that it could be anything from the high temperature, because a lot of people are using a lot of electricity, and that can strain the system. Of course, lightning striking equipment. They've even had squirrels get into transmitters or transformers. Yeah.
That'll take care of it in a hurry,
That'll
won't
take care of it. So I blame the squirrels.
As hot as it was last week and a half, they were probably looking for someplace cooler and thought, oh, this will do fine, thank you.
So if you're wondering, also, that is why, not the squirrel, but the high usage is why we often see the Delaware Electric Cooperative beat the peak.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because they want to avoid those things. So yeah.
There's the reason.
You know, watch your electric use and maybe it'll stay on. You won't have to reset your clock.
Again
and again and again.
You know, we were talking about the jellyfish the other day and how they got this jellyfish cam now out in Cambridge. Well, there you go. There is one, and yes, they are showing up early in the Chesapeake Bay, and scientists are thinking the larger than normal population is not necessarily a bad thing.
Right. They're saying the reason we're seeing more and seeing them earlier is because of the temperature of the water and possibly the salinity of the water, you know, the salt content. But they're saying that Maggie Sexton of the University of Maryland Center for Environmental Sciences, she's been going out on the dock at Horn Point every day and kind of keeping a track of how many are there. She says overall there has been a decline of jellyfish in the past 50 years, but we're seeing more. Now, to you and me who might want to swim, that's not so much a good thing.
No.
But to the oyster population, it could be a good thing, because sea nettles help balance the food chain by eating comb jellies.
Comb jellies.
Comb jellies, which are voracious consumers of oyster larvae. An important food,
or what we affectionately refer to as spat.
Spat, yeah.
So in other words, if the jellyfish are eating the comb jellies, which usually eat the oyster spat, we'll come up with more oysters.
Right. And that's more fish as well, too. Jellyfish have roamed the seas for at least 500 million years. Didn't know that.
Didn't know that either. No.
I just know that when they sting, it hurts.
Yeah. Just get the vinegar, leave me alone for a while. There is, and you may have seen this picture, if not, please enjoy it to its fullest. If you look closely, you see a nice little morsel in a kayak there, and a few feet behind him, a great big fin. This was off of Cape Cod, a 12 to 14 great white started trolling behind this guy in a kayak.
And he started paddling faster.
And he started going quicker. and there was another one out in California that they were saying actually attacked the kayak. I think it was a yellow kayak.
Yeah, and there's the picture right there.
Look at the bite marks on that thing.
Yeah.
One of the rangers said that the shark was a 14 to 18 foot great white that actually lifted the boat up. Do you understand how big a fish we're talking about? Lo and behold, I have
just happen to have a tape measure here in the studio.
Would you do me a favor? Hang on to this.
Hang on.
All right, I'm going to take this thing out here. How far do you think I am now?
Let's see. 6'8".
There you go. You're exactly right. Okay. Let me show you what an 18-foot great white shark would look like.
Oh my.
All the way to here behind our cameras.
He would take up our whole studio.
Do you see how long this is?
That's a big shark.
And by the way, you're holding the nose. I got the tape. Just want to let you know. That is a huge shark.
And you know what? They're saying the reason that we're seeing these sharks in places we don't normally see them, like Cape Cod, is because of the warmer water. But it's not that the sharks are going for the warmer water; they're going for the seals.
Yes.
The seals that are migrating north.
Warmer water.
Yeah, going to the warmer. The seals are their food. That's what they're going for. They're not going for you or me.
They're getting lucky and winding up with us anyway. But
yeah, I mean, if you get in the way, if you get in between the shark and the seal, then maybe you're shark food. But they like seals better.
Yeah. Oh, but my understanding is they don't like the taste of humans.
Yeah.
I guess they like the taste of kayaks, though. I don't know.
It looks like it.
Not sure how that works out.
Hey, the Dover City Council has approved an ordinance outlawing
sharks.
Not sharks.
No.
Bamboo.
Outlawing bamboo?
Bamboo, the growth of bamboo on city properties unless certain precautions are taken to prevent its spread. Now, I don't know if you have any of this in your yard, if you've ever had it before. I thought it would be a great idea to get some bamboo, but then I found out how it grows, and it's like very invasive, and it grows really fast, and apparently they're having problems in Dover in the city limits with people planting it, and then it just goes out of control, and it's damaging sidewalks and things like that.
Right.
Here is why, and I didn't know this, and you may know this. This is how bamboo grows. It grows with like a horizontal root with like the vertical roots coming up out of it. So like if you cut down those two
the two
stems
coming up,
you
still got the root.
It's not going to do anything because you still have that root and it's just going to keep coming up. So in Dover, they're saying, you know what, you cannot plant this in the ground. You can plant it in raised beds, but we don't want this in the ground because even if they, even with herbicide, they can't get rid of it. The only way they can get rid of it is if they cut it all down, and then get the herbicide down into the roots. That's how they get rid of it. A lot of work. They're just saying, you know what, let's just not let people grow this in the city limits. So I thought that was interesting.
That's, I didn't realize it did that, no.
Yeah, and it's not, obviously not native, and so all the more reason.
Don't grow your bamboo. Not a good thing. Heard about a new art exhibit coming to Gallery 50 in Rehoboth Beach. 15 artists asked to create images inspired by the Delaware region. It's called Visions of the First State.
Now this is a beautiful photograph that's in that exhibit. This is another one. This looks like it's the Rehoboth, it is the Rehoboth Boardwalk done in pencil, I believe.
Oh, wow.
And then here's another one. The artist who took this photograph said that he went out there almost every evening looking for the perfect sky in the new Indian River Bridge when they had it lit up and everything. And just when he really, I guess, was almost ready to give up, he finally got this shot. But it's shots like that of different forms of art, you know, whether it's photography, paint, charcoal, anything. That they're displaying, and that display is going on July 20th through August 9th at the Gallery 50. I don't know if you've ever been there, but that's on Wilmington Avenue at 50B. If you want some more information, there's a phone number, 302-227-2050. Something to do if you're, out at the beach and you want to go in and cool down or something. Go look at some art.
Let's see what they got. One of my most favorite guests that we've had on the show has been the Possum Point Players.
Oh yeah.
They were terrific, but there is actually a junior clan, isn't there?
Yeah. 6th graders through seniors in high school.
I think so, yeah.
6th to 12th grade. Yeah.
And guess what they're doing? The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Ooh.
How awesome is there's nothing I would love to see more than the juniors put on the Hunchback of Notre Dame. It's of course adapted from the novel by Victor Hugo. This particular performance will be directed by Logan Lynch. And we got the details for the show. There it is.
There it is.
July 12th through the 14th, 7 o'clock in the evening. Have dinner, go out to the show. July 15th at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And of course, that's going to be at Possum Hall in Georgetown. Want to know more? Then we can tell you. Well, there's your number, 302-856-4560.
What a great group that is, the Possum Point players, both the juniors and the, I guess, seniors. I don't know. And they have a great theater up there in Georgetown. So.
And we cannot push the arts enough. No. Teach the kids. It's a wonderful thing. Well, you know the gates just opened for the Camp Barnes race at the Dover International Speedway in Del Mar. There's the place you need to stop by. The races actually begin at 7 o'clock this evening. All the monies go toward the operating expenses of Camp Barnes, which allows about I love the look of that pool. About 420 kids, 10 to 13, to summer camp at no cost to their parents.
Oh, okay.
Now they're doing something neat this year. They're offering for the first time in 40 years what they call a fan zone. There's going to be activities, there's going to be vendors on display, monster truck's going to be there, monster truck rides, silent auction. There's also going to be, let me make sure I get this right, a 1/5 scale Baja remote control car speedway.
And if that isn't enough, they're going to have a cornhole tournament.
What more could you want?
I tell you what, the Delaware International Speedway up there in Del Mar.
Remote cars and cornhole tournament. It's just,
oh my goodness.
It doesn't get any better than
my
that.
boys love to go there, so I'm sure they'll show up at that race as
40 year today. So did you hear that the Milkman is coming back to Rising Sun? Did you guys know that?
The Milkman's coming back?
The Milkman is coming back to Rising Sun, Maryland.
My Milkman?
Here is the deal. Family-owned dairy Kilby Cream in Rising Sun has more than 400 delivery customers. There is a $3 delivery fee, a $2 deposit for the glass bottles, and that's not counting the milk. Dairy marketing manager Jessica Russa says, though, new orders are coming in every day.
Wow.
How would you like to have the Milkman come to your door with?
I would love.
Would you like that? That'd be awesome.
We go through so much milk. I would love to have the Milkman, and you know, you don't. We had a milk box. Did you have a milk box?
I didn't have a milk box.
You didn't have a milk box. Anybody here have a milk box?
Remember the milk box?
Remember the milk box? You go out and they put the milk inside, and great memories.
We were talking about this earlier. I remember the milk plant across the street from our school. They had the big milk truck come in from the dairy farms, and that's where they'd offload it and put it in these great big, it must have been 25-gallon cans with the two handles. And I remember that. I don't know why I remember that.
Man, that would last a day in my house.
It would be.
We're big milk drinkers.
You are a big Glee fan.
I like Glee, yes.
Right?
I'm a Gleek.
You're Gleek?
I'm a Gleek.
I hate to admit this, I've never watched it, but I want to. Archie, Betty, Veronica, and resident boy genius Dilton Doily going to be matching wits and maybe a vocal or two with the likes of Finn Hudson, Kurt Hummel, and Rachel Berry in the pages of Archie's comics.
Well, how cool is that?
How about this? Co-Chief Executive Officer John Goldwater unveiled the planned collaboration yesterday. It's dubbed Archie Meets Glee. He said the crossover between the Fox show and the comic book set for later this year or early 2013.
I'm getting it. I'm getting it. Can you imagine? How would you like to be featured in an Archie comic? Isn't that be cool?
That'd be awesome.
That'd be awesome.
That would be cool. Don't see it happening, but it's all right with me.
You know, I'm going to get it.
Yeah. Still ahead on Delmarva Life. You know, we don't like to think that we would ever be in a dangerous situation, physically attacked. But the truth is anything could happen, and many times women are a criminal's target. Steps to protect yourself in the face of danger.
Plus, we're in the kitchen with the High Spot in Cambridge. One of their fan favorites is their crab cakes. We'll take a look at them and learn how to make them. And the crab cake is just a taste of what you can get in just a few days at the Taste of Cambridge. Why you may want to make plans for the entire family to be there this weekend. Delmarva Life, live at its best, here on Delmarva.
Delmarva Life is brought to you by Sussex County Federal Credit Union, guiding you to your financial future. Peninsula Regional Medical Center, honored to serve the entire Delmarva Peninsula since 1897. And your local York and Mitsubishi dealers.